Getting hard stuck on the ladder is one of the most frustrating things in any video game. It feels like the game is rigged against you, and no matter what you do, you just can't rank up. Your teammates always suck, and the balance is a nightmare. Nothing is fair, and the devs just need to fix their game already. A lot of people fall into this vicious cycle where they complain about the game relentlessly while losing games and staying stuck at the rank they're at, or even D-ranking. I've certainly had my fair share of days, weeks, and months like that, and you might be going through the same thing too. However, while we're stuck bashing our heads against the brick wall of losing games in public matchmaking, there's another group of people who have broken out of this cycle and are actively pushing up through the ranks. It's like they're immune to the problem of elo hell. How is this possible? Something I've noticed over the years I've spent playing competitive video games is the key difference between the winners who push up through the ranks and people who get hard stuck. And that's their mindset. Winners have a distinctly unique and advantageous mindset that changes how they approach the various problems we love to complain about in Deadlock and other games, and it's what lets them push through and climb the ladder in situations where other people just get stuck. In this video, I want to break down exactly what the winner's mindset is, and how you can use it to win more games. It's an aspect of competitive gaming that often gets overlooked in favor of how good your aim, macro, and builds are, but it's arguably even more important than all of that combined. The core principle of the winner's mindset is accepting what is out of your control and choosing to adapt to the situation rather than complaining and expecting others to change. You are not in control of the game's balance or the people on your team, but you can control how you respond to the situations you are given. You see, there are many things that just push our buttons in video games, and it's okay to get upset at them. Anger is a human emotion, and you can't just shut that off because you're not a robot. However, instead of complaining about something being unfair, channel that anger into planning your next move. Think about how you're going to get back at them by countering them with a new item or tactic, rather than buying the same old items every match even when they're not appropriate for the situation. No matter what balance patch we're in, something will always feel unfair. It might be Silver last patch, Graves this patch, and the secret Chinese Mo and Krill meta next month. But there is always something you can do to improve your chances against whatever is annoying you, because the game gives you all the tools you need. You should focus on learning and improving yourself so you can be better prepared the next time you need to fight the meta-annoying characters. You don't know when the next balance patch will arrive, or if it'll even nerf what you're fighting, but you can find a way to defeat them here and now. For example, if you're constantly being curb stomped by Lash's ult match after match, you'd certainly be upset and complain about it being OP. At that point, there are two things you can do. You can continue complaining and waiting for the devs to nerf Lash's ult while he kicks your face in match after match, or you can channel that frustration into finding solutions for how to counter it. You can experiment with different items and strategies, and you can look up what the pros are doing to shut him down. This is the winning mindset, taking matters into your own hands and improving at the game instead of waiting for Yoshi to come in and fix the stupid balance of the game. The truth of the matter is, for a lot of abilities in the game, that day will never come. The game presents you with a lot of broken, overpowered abilities that are like a puzzle to solve, and then it gives you the tools to solve them in the form of your own powerful abilities and items that you can buy in the shop. So, the next time you start to rage at Doorman trapping you in the Baroness, or Bebop hooking you from a mile away, resist the urge to scream at the enemies and scream at the devs. Instead, remind yourself that you can overcome these broken abilities and have the last laugh if you put your mind to it. Shoot, if you need to, write it down on a sticky note and look at it every time a mechanic makes you angry. Train yourself to respond in productive ways and channel your anger towards counterplay instead of venting. That's what a winner does. However, even if you've started to improve yourself, there will also be situations where the people on your team are playing really badly. This is another aspect of the game that's completely out of your control, and it happens to everybody, even the best players. There's no doubt that this is extremely frustrating, and it might even feel like a personal attack. These bad players are blatantly throwing your games, and they should get out of your lobbies. But that's not what a winner thinks. Players with a winning mindset understand that there will always be matches where the players on your team are having a bad day. They're struggling with things in their personal life, they're tired, or they're just trying a character they're less experienced at. We're all human, and there's nothing wrong with trying to relax and play a game under these conditions. You're not playing in a pro tournament for money, you're just trying to climb the Deadlock ladder. And you've certainly had poor games just like these players, where things aren't clicking right and you just suck. Do you want someone yelling at you and putting you down when you already know you're struggling? Of course not. In these situations, there are a few things you can do. Lashing out at these players and calling them trash is objectively the wrong answer because it will not help you win the game. If you feel the need to complain about your team, do not do it to their face. It'll only make them perform worse, and you will certainly lose the game because of it. A house divided against itself cannot stand, and a team that's fighting amongst itself cannot defeat the enemy team. Instead, you can try to help your teammates that are struggling, but you need to be very careful about this because people will often get defensive when you point out their mistakes, so wording is important. For example, if the enemy silver is destroying your team with high amounts of gun damage, you could say something like, "Rem, can you get a disarming hex? Haze, why don't you have metal skin? You guys can't keep dying to this silver." While that's technically all true and good advice, it comes off aggressive and will immediately put your teammates on the defensive. A better approach would be to say something like, "Guys, I think we need to get a disarming hex or metal skin for this silver. Rem, do you have curse in your build? We could totally shut her down with that." This works much better because it shifts focus away from the team's failings and towards killing silver the next time. Instead of singling out teammates that aren't playing optimally, you're suggesting good ideas that your team will want to latch onto because it makes sense. It's a subtle wording trick that makes you come off as an agreeable team player. Furthermore, if no one is stepping up to call plays and lead the team, then you should be that person. Teams are much more effective if they have even a basic plan, and it's an easy way to boost your entire team's effectiveness and morale. Simple comms like, "Guys, I see a rift spawning on yellow. Do we want to be here for this? We might be able to create an opportunity for Wraiths to split push on green," can make such a huge difference and turn your games from grueling, slow losses into smooth, easy wins. People like having a plan to follow, so you should give them that plan. However, what if your team truly is just a bunch of stinkers? They're not playing well, they're not communicating, and they're just outright being toxic. This is, once again, an inevitability in some games that's out of your control. In this situation, players with a winning mindset know to mute and disengage with the people who are being toxic. You can turn inward and focus on compensating for your team's shortcomings yourself. You can focus more on macro and getting rich so you can buy the tools you need to steamroll the enemies. But even with that, unfortunately, you can't win all your games. No matter what, some games will simply be unwinnable. This is where it's important to remember the matchmaking rule of thirds. A third of your games will be unwinnable because of bad teammates. A third of your games will be unlosable because the enemies are playing poorly. And a third of your games are determined by your performance. You shouldn't feel bad because you lost a few games. No one has a 100% win rate. But you can try to learn something from the games that you lost. The people who come out as winners, who rank up in the long term, study their past defeats to see what they can improve at. In some matches, you should have done better macro. In some matches, you should have played safer on lane. In some matches, you should have bought more counterplay items. And in some matches, it's genuinely your team's fault. But could you have given better comms to change the outcome of the match? Unless someone just blatantly left the match for no reason, you can learn from every single game that you play. People who get hardstuck tend not to study their past defeats as closely or jump too quickly towards blaming their team. It's a bad habit, and it's counterproductive. Now, that's not to say that I or anybody else is perfect practicing this mindset. I've had plenty of slip-ups where I indulge in the easy path of whining and complaining about Sinclair's ult being broken without taking steps to counterplay him. And I've certainly blamed my team for some losses where I could have done a lot better. Nobody is perfect, and that's okay. Ranking up is a slow journey, and sometimes you'll be the one who's having a bad day because you just woke up on the wrong side of the bed. But it's important to recognize these mistakes when they happen and try to do better going forward. You see, the last aspect of the winner's mindset is humility. A lot of players will get to the point where they've played the game long enough and reached a high enough rank that they think they know it all, and that they're being held back because something about the game is rigged. But that's simply not true. Even the best players in the game don't know it all, and there will always be new tricks and techniques to learn. It's important to always keep an open mind, because that's how you have room to grow and improve. You need to be willing to accept that, despite your previous understanding, you may be wrong about something. Especially as the game evolves and changes around you, you should not be so rigid in your thinking that you hold fast to the facts of old. Assuming that you're always right about everything because you've been doing this for a long time is the quickest way to become a jaded, toxic player who wonders why they're not ranking up, or even ranking down. Be willing to learn new things and change your mind when presented with new evidence. Being wrong or having outdated information is not a personal failing, it's just a fact of life. We're all wrong about something, but choosing to stick with the wrong ideas out of stubbornness and ego is a personal failing. When someone corrects you on something, don't view it as an attack on your intelligence, but rather as an opportunity to gain a better understanding of the game and improve yourself. Otherwise, you'll fall into the exact stagnation that leaves you hard stuck on the ladder. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video, so hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you found this video to be useful, of course make sure to drop a like and subscribe down below for more videos just like this. As my beard continues to grow longer, I will continue to make more philosophical videos such as this. But yeah, also if you want to help support the channel, especially as I just dropped a lot of money fixing my computer, consider joining the memberships program down below as well. It's fairly cheap, and it helps out a ton, and you get a whole bunch of sweet perks for it as well, so I would really appreciate that. But with all that being said, thank you guys for watching, I will see you all next time, peace out.